Okay.
So I think we're ready to go. I think a lot of people are on, so we're good.
That sounds great.
Let's
Okay,
start.
so my name is Pat Jacoby. I'm an herbalist, and we are going to be talking about better sleep, less stress, a holistic approach. So we're focusing on essential oils in this class. There are many other things we can do holistically for sleep and stress, but we're focusing on essential oils, and we will be touching on a couple other topics while we go through. But so, why is this not moving? There we are. Okay. So this is different places you can find me on YouTube, Holistic Traditions with Pat. I do have some other classes archived there. So if you miss a class, I do try to get the classes up on there. And sometimes I am able to copy and paste that. Well, I'm able to, but I find the time to copy and paste that link from YouTube and put it onto my One Essential Drop with Pat Facebook page or my One Essential Drop business page. And Janice also sometimes puts them onto her Joyful Living page. So you can find me there too. My website is oneessentialdrop.live. And if you need to contact me directly for individual consultations, there's my phone number down there or my email. So, essential oils to manage emotions. So, when we're talking about how to use essential oils, someone just mentioned dilution. That's very important. So, we're going to talk about the three basic ways initially that we get started with essential oils. We want to use them aromatically, which means we want to breathe them in. So if you've come in contact with oils before, if Janice has shared an oil with you, a lot of times we'll share peppermint as somebody's first oil and we'll put a drop in their hand and we'll tell them to rub their hands together and hold it up in front of their nose and breathe in through their nose long, slow, and deep. Not putting, never put oils around your eyes. Don't put them in your eye area. I should say, never put them in your eyes, never put them in your ears, never put them up your nose. Okay. And peppermint, you never want to put in the eye area. And your stronger herbs, oils, you don't want to put in your eye area. Okay. Um, so when we're using the oils aromatically, you can breathe in from your hand. You can breathe in through your mouth. You can also put them in a diffuser and breathe them in all day or all evening, all night while you're sleeping. And that is an excellent way to benefit yourself while you're trying to calm yourself, calm your children, calm your pets, trying to help with sleep, is to use them aromatically. Then topically, that's when you dilute, when you put them in a roller bottle. Now, there are times, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, that you might use just a drop once or twice, undiluted in certain cases, but typically when we're using them topically, we usually dilute. And a lot of times we'll put them into roller bottles. So I'll show you a roller bottle here. This is a pre-made roller bottle. And so right in here, you have uh, your oils, your carrier oil, and then you have a roller top on top. So you would use that aromatically. You could put that where it's needed. So if that was a roller bottle for pain for your shoulder, you could put it to soothe that area by putting it right on your shoulder. If you want it to use it for soothing a skin issue, you would put it directly on that area. So there's many different ways to use them topically. And then internally, sometimes we do use essential oils internally, and you can't use every essential oil on the market internally. So I am really only going to be talking about these oils that we use. We use ones that are third-party tested, go through 11 different tests for purity and for potency. You just can't go to TJ Maxx and get oils and take them internally. Always make sure you read the bottle, okay? And we use doTERRA essential oils here. Um, Read the bottle, and when you look, if there is a supplement fact box, you will see a little box on there and it says supplement fact, and this one is cinnamon. And When there's a supplement fact box, you can take it internally. It'll also say that on the bottle. If it does not say that, then you cannot take it internally. So if they're tested and they're safe, why are some not able to be taken internally? And that would be because those plants aren't meant to be taken internally. So there are some plants we should not ingest. Okay, change the screens. Whoops. Okay. Okay, so when we talk about stress, stress is not what happens to you because nobody is ever going to live a stress-free life. Okay, so it's not about what happens to you. Not that that's not, a factor, but it's really about how you respond to life's challenges. And you'll notice some people take stress very well, and other people don't take stress very well. And then there's those of us who are in between, where I can take stress really well to a certain point, and then I'm like the camel. There's you just one too many, and then, that's too much for me, right? So we all have our different levels of comfort with stress. I had 6 kids, and people used to say, "You're always so calm." And I used to say, "Not always." Not always. I do hit my point where I am feeling uncalm. So, but stress can show up in many different ways. Okay. It can show up in physical ways. So I'll never forget when my one son, they were homeschooled and he had to go for a test. They all have to go through a test in certain grades to check to see how they're progressing and if they're at grade level and so on and so forth. And so he was supposed to go for a standardized test. And I had to drive him to the test, and he was going to sit in a room with other kids and take this timed test. Like you fill in the little circles. You remember doing that? Well, on the way there, he threw up. Was he sick? No, he was so fearful and stressed. And I had told him, I said, this is not a big deal. You can't fail it. This is to see where you are. It's not that something bad happens if you don't get a certain score. But nevertheless, this was something new to him, and he was very upset about it. So luckily, there was a person there who took him into another room and let him have the his test by himself, and it all turned out really well. He was so relieved. He thought he thought I was coming by to pick him up for a lunch break, and he was all done. So, but we can have physical repercussions from stress. We can have even ongoing, lasting physical repercussions from stress, like people will end up with things like ulcers and things like that from stress. High blood pressure. Of course, that's a variety of different things. It's not stress by itself, but stress definitely impacts blood pressure. So, and emotional changes. So, and people can also maybe get shaky hands. They can start to sweat. They can even
Yeah.
get blurry vision from stress. So it can show up physically in a variety of different ways.
With me, with the stress and everything, I noticed like I get nasty migraines
Mm.
or I start like pacing
Uh-huh.
and like the whole, puking part I can't eat because I'll like end up, vomiting up. But I also notice like when I'm also stressed, I lose a lot of hair.
Oh, if it goes on for a while, that can happen. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
So why would someone
and
feel
that's what's
nauseous?
happening to me. I'm losing hair.
Okay. Well, we can talk about that. We can talk about that individually. We can work on that. So when we're really, really stressed, our body goes back to, you know, thousands of years ago, and we're running from the dinosaur, we're running from the tiger. So if you were literally most of our stresses now are not that we're literally running from something. It might be that we have to make those calls and we have to get them done fast, or we have to, do something else, get this paperwork done. So it's not usually as physical as it used to be, but back when stress was usually something you needed to run from in order to be safe, what would happen is your body would stop the digestive process and it would put all its energy into getting you away from that danger. So now instead of running from a lion or a tiger, people are having one paperwork deadline and another paperwork deadline and another thing. And then the phone rings and then they look at the clock and they realize they're running late to go somewhere. And so it's one after another, but they don't need to run. So they're not expending that energy. It's bottling up inside them. And so that all compounds the problem. So, um, how can we manage the stress? There's a variety of different ways. So there's two reasons for disease. And I've said it many different classes, toxicity and deficiency. If we have a lot of toxins in our body is not going to function well like it should. If we are nutritionally deficient because we're not eating as we should, then our body is not going to have the energy that it needs to deal with the stress that we're experiencing. So, having proper holistic nutrition is extremely and foundationally important for us to deal with everything, stress included. Next, we can use essential oils to help to calm and balance our emotions. Getting proper rest is huge when it comes to stress. When we are tired or overtired or have been maybe getting almost enough sleep, but not quite enough for days on end, it starts to wear on us. And a lot of people say, oh, I get 6 to 7 hours sleep. I'm fine. Well, when they have a night where they get 6 to 7 hours sleep, they feel fine, but they are running a little short. Then they do it a second night. Then they do it a third night, a fourth night, a fifth night, a sixth night. And then it starts to catch up with them and they don't know why, because when they did it the first time, it didn't really feel too bad. So getting proper rest is very important. Then I'll tell you something that I believed for a long time and is not true. It doesn't matter when you sleep, as long as you get enough sleep. That's not true. I really wish it was because I like staying up and I like sleeping in. Unfortunately, the science does not back that up. So when we go to sleep between 9 and 10 at night and we sleep through approximately 8 hours, and we a lot of times we believe, oh, well, teenagers need 8 hours. We don't need 8 hours. Yes, we do. We need 8 hours. So what happens is when we go to sleep earlier, our body gets the opportunity between 10 and 2 or 10 and 3 to dump the toxins in our system so we can eliminate them and use the rest of that time for rebuild and repair. So that is when the majority of those processes are done. So if we don't go to sleep until 1 or 2 in the morning, can you see how we're really lacking in being able to dump those toxins and rebuild and repair? So night after night after night, we're not getting that release of toxins, and the rebuild and the repair is going to not just affect us now, but affect us for years to come. And a lot of times I used to say, other people, I hear them say, oh, I'm at the end of the week, I'm going to catch up on my sleep. You might catch up on your sleep somewhat, but you're never fully catching up on your sleep. You just can't one for one it. So you will always have some residual deficiency from not getting that sleep. So start making sleep a priority. It will help you when it comes to stress and digestion, metabolism. Something I noticed a number of years ago that my metabolism works better when I get proper rest. I had a belly for a couple years that it wasn't major, but it was definitely not what I wanted, and I couldn't get rid of it. And I eat very well, and other areas in my life I'm on target with, but this sleep thing was always the bane of my existence. And trying to get rid of that belly, it just didn't want to leave me. And then, of course, a lot of times people will say, well, it's because it's our age. Well, it is and it's not. Um, it's our age after years of not getting proper rest, but it's not just our age. So get the rest that you need. It will not only help you with stress, but will also help your metabolism. Metabolism has a major impact on our weight and our cardiovascular system and our blood sugar levels. Friends and family. Well, friends and family can help us to relieve stress. They can be a joy or they can create some stress in our life. And I'm sure everyone has experienced both at some point or another in their life. If you have friends or family that are not adding to your life but are causing stress in your life, you'll hear some people say today, cut them off, just cut them off. Well, that's not always the easiest thing to do, and it's not always the best thing to do. It could be very isolating and it could be very unhealthy. Depends on your situation. So I can't give an answer for everybody. But if family gatherings can be stressful, it's okay to let everyone know that you're going to come a little late or leave a little early, or both if you need to. And, when you let people know ahead of time, you don't have to tell them why. I'm not able to come until I know it starts at 4, but I'm not able to get there until 6. I know everyone's going to stay until 11 or 12, but I'm going to be leaving at 9. And that's okay. And you can do that. You can make that decision if you feel that that's what's right for you. And that way you still get to continue that relationship. And sometimes the shorter visit ends up being more joyful and less stressful. So if that applies, you can give that a try. Next is physical activity. Well, like I mentioned before, when we talk about the fact that we don't run from our stress anymore, we don't run from the dinosaur or the lions and tigers and bears, right? We're stuck sitting at the desk with it sitting right in front of us. So we don't get that physical release. So that is why it's really important to go for a walk. And going for a walk, people a lot of times think that, you've got to lift weights, you got to do powerlifting, you got to do aerobics. And not to say those things aren't wonderful, but for some people, not only could it be um, stressful on their joints, but it could also be stressful when it comes to their cortisol levels. So it might be the healthier option to simply take a walk, take long walks, take it in the sunshine. Don't be afraid of the sun. The sun is good uh, for us mentally as well as physically. Letting the light hit our eyes. I don't mean look into the sun, but letting the light hit our eyes is very beneficial. Just being out in the sunlight, in other words, okay, is very good. Letting the sun hit our skin is very good. I'm not saying to fry yourself and get a sunburn at the beach. That is not a good idea. But taking a walk and getting a little sun on our skin is very good. Our body literally makes its own vitamin D when the sun hits our skin. So, very beneficial. So keep that in mind. If you're getting sunburn or you're getting red outside, that's too much. Put on a hat, put on a little longer sleeve shirt or something. Take care of that. But some sun is definitely beneficial and very healthy and good for us. So start the day and end the day right. So these are two oils that are absolutely fabulous to start and end the day. So balance is absolutely phenomenal. Its primary ingredient is frankincense, and it is really amazing to help balance the emotions. So if you wake up in the morning and you think, oh my gosh, I got 500 things to do, and immediately your head is like rifling through all these things you have to conquer, balance would be a good idea. And you can simply put this on the back of the neck. A lot of times people will put it on the bottom of the feet. That's a great idea too. Um, so you could put it into a roller bottle, apply it to your wrists. This does have a little bit of carrier oil in it already. So if you want to apply it right to your skin, that is absolutely fine. And it has been a tried and true for quite a long time. So, Serenity. Serenity can be used topically or diffused. We also have Serenity capsules for bedtime, but this combination that's in the essential oil bottle is not for internal use. This combination is for topical use, so you can apply this in a roller bottle, or you can apply it with a carrier oil from your hand, put that on your feet, or you can diffuse it from your diffuser at bedtime. And this is really helpful not only to get to sleep, but to have a more productive sleep. So, other oils that are good for general stress, lavender. Everyone should have lavender. Uh, Lavender is a staple for many different things. It's calming. It's calming for grown-ups, for kids, for pets. It's safe for babies. It's fine for dogs. It's wonderful. You can diffuse it, you can use it topically, and you can take it internally. In fact, lemon, lavender, and peppermint are the allergy blend, and we can put that in honey or a capsule and take that internally. Next, we have Intune. Intune is the focus blend, and it's wonderful for when people have focus and attention problems. Great to use with children, teens, and even adults with focus and attention problems. Lemon and bergamot are wonderful. They are citrus oils, and all our citrus oils are mood elevating. They really feel like sunshine in a bottle. So they're very beneficial in that way. And of course, lemon, grapefruit, tangerine, they're great to put in our water too. So, so I love using the citrus oils. Ylang ylang is very, very calming, very soothing to the emotions. Also have some hormone balancing properties to it. Petitgrain is another one that's very calming, and it's really great to combine with other oils. Elevation is a blend. You know what? I think they discontinued that one. We have Citrus Bliss is absolutely amazing that people are using in place of the Elevation, and of course Serenity again, grapefruit and basil can be very calming too. So specific types of stress. So when we talk about mental stress, lavender, intune, grapefruit, bergamot, petitgrain, and frankincense is excellent for mental stress. For performance stress in getting work done, moving forward, grapefruit and bergamot and frankincense. And you really could put frankincense and copaiba with most of these lists here. Then physical stress, serenity, lavender, bergamot, geranium, marjoram. Marjoram is wonderful, wonderful for the muscles, the joints. So is copaiba and lemongrass. So I love them for that. And then we have chemical stress. We have lavender and rosemary. Emotional stress, we have clary sage, clary calm. Clary Calm is a hormonal blend, and Clary Sage is in the Clary Calm and is also very good for hormonal balance. Forgive. Forgive. I love talking about Forgive. Absolutely amazing. Um, Forgive is part of the emotions kit. And when they came out with the emotions kit, they had done a study prior to releasing it, and they said that they tested all the oils in the emotional kit, which were not even going to be able to think of them right now, but passion, cheer, forgive, console, um, and so on and so forth. There's more of them, but they tested motivate. They tested all of them to see what would be um, most productive in the work environment to increase productivity. And of course, we know that motivate would be the one that would logically be what would increase productivity in the workspace. And it wasn't. It was forgive. And so I was like, wow, okay. So I'm thinking about it as I'm sitting there in this huge conference. And I thought, well, you know what? So many times when people are in a work environment, what goes on, right? They might get on their coworkers' nerves, their coworkers get on their nerves, maybe they get disgruntled about a decision that was made, or maybe they end up with extra work, or they had trouble getting in uh, to work on time because of other people that, or maybe they're blaming it on other people. Maybe it was themselves, but maybe they're blaming it on other people. Maybe they have to forgive themselves that they came in late. So forgive is really one that is excellent for the workspace and is also great to diffuse when there's tense relationships going on. So very beneficial in those ways. Bergamot is a citrus oil, and that is very good for emotional stress. Console is one of the other oils in the emotions kit, and petitgrain again is wonderful to combine with other oils. Cheer is in the emotions kit and very uplifting. And environmental stress, we have bergamot, cypress, and geranium. So different different oils that we can use for different types of stress. So stress and the spine. So stress can cause misalignments in the spine. Do you ever feel like you're holding your body a certain way when you're stressed, or you can feel your muscles are tensed up? Stress can lead to disease because of inadequate functions. It can interfere with the body's ability to perform. It can interfere with the brain's ability to send messages through the spinal cord and nerves. Chiropractic and massage, chiropractic adjustments and massage can help to relieve stress on the spine. So that the massage will help with the supportive muscles. And then the chiropractor, of course, does adjustments. So those are other tools you can use for stress. And my son is a massage therapist, and it's always a blessing when he says that his mom will give you a massage. So, so effects of stress. When our body is stressed and we're not dealing with it well, we need to look at the nutrients that we're taking in. Now, when we look at our food today and the food supply in and of itself, the soil is very lacking. And so, therefore, the food is going to be lacking in nutrients too. So, we're expecting food that is deficient in nutrients to give us all our nutrients that we need in order to be a healthy individual. And you can't get something from nothing. So, if the food is lacking and that's what we're relying on, we're going to be lacking. There was a time that doctors used to say, there is no need to use supplements. And if they're still saying it, they're incorrect. There's no need to use supplements because you can get all your nutrients from the food you eat. You can no longer do that. Not only that, but list for me how many people you know that eat 100% perfect 100% of the time. A lot of times people will say, well, I eat a good dinner. My breakfast and lunch might be awful, or my lunch is really good, but my breakfast is terrible, or whatever the, combination for them might be. Our body needs a certain amount of nutrients coming in on a daily basis. And if we're not getting that, we are deficient. Another thing is a lot of people are doing something called OMAD, one meal a day. And one meal a day or a fast can be a wonderful tool. It can really be helpful. It puts the body into a a stressed state that is actually beneficial in that the body will then say, okay, there's a problem. Let's get it together here and do everything we can to repair. That's really a very short explanation. But sometimes people do the one meal a day ongoing for months at a time or even years. And this will create a huge deficiency in the body. And we don't want to do long-term one meal a day because you cannot get enough nutrients from your food only eating one meal a day, even with supplementation, because you're asking those supplements and that one meal a day to give you more than it's actually capable of. So there's also something in food that we don't even know, and that is the fact that we're supposed to eat a variety of different foods. And in those foods, there's a variety of different nutrients. Now, there are nutrients that we are very well aware of, and we've been aware of for a long time, certain nutrients, but there's ones that they haven't even discovered yet that are in foods that you could be lacking, and it could be causing a stress on the body, and they haven't even distinguished what that actual nutrient is yet. It hasn't gotten a name yet. So, because they've been discovering ones through the years. This is our VM, and it's part of our lifelong vitality pack. And this is very beneficial to help cover those gaps um, in our diet so as to support our body on a cellular level. The Alpha CRS is a cellular support, and it has skullcap in it, which I actually absolutely love, which helps to support the central nervous system. And this helps your cells and directly relates to the health of your body on a cellular level. And then there's the omegas. We need the omegas, the essential fatty acids, for managing inflammation in the body, for cognitive health, and for many, many different areas of health within the body. Okay, now let's talk about diffuser blends. So here's two diffuser blends, and these are not our current diffusers, but we do have a nice selection of diffusers available. And when you get a kit, you'll get depending on the kit you get, but you'll get a diffuser with your kit and maybe even two, depending on the kit you get. So Through the Woods is 3 drops of sandalwood, 3 drops of vetiver, 3 drops of lavender, and 2 drops of chamomile. And then we also have citrus floral. And this is 4 drops of lavender, 3 drops of bergamot, 2 drops of patchouli, and 2 drops of ylang ylang. And depending on the room size, you would want to cut that in half if you have a smaller room. But if you have a large common area in your house, that might be appropriate. But if your rooms are smaller, you would definitely want to cut that in half. Adaptive. We definitely want to talk about adaptive. Adaptive is absolutely amazing. So adaptive was tested with first responders and people who struggle with seasonal seasonal ongoing sadness, long periods of sadness, anxious feelings. And this is very supportive in helping to bring people back to an emotional balance. And it is an excellent tool. So the adaptive capsules, I prefer taking one a day. I don't take them every single day, but when there's going to be, a lot of stress, a lot going on, or just a lot going on, even, it doesn't even have to be a lot of stress. It could be good things too, but it's very balancing. And some people will take two if they have a stressful time. One is plenty for me. You also have the roller bottle, which can be used topically to help to support during stressful time. And I always keep adaptive roller bottle in my pocketbook. And then there is the essential oil, the 15 ml, which is great to put into the diffuser. So if ever you have anything stressful going on, maybe you're working on your taxes or you have someone stopping over that is just really high energy or negative or um, any type of a problem situation you're going to be talking about or dealing with sadness, that would be really great to use that in the diffuser. And you don't even have to like talk about it and say, I put on adaptive because you're really stressed. You just put it on. So when your roller bottle gets low, you can refill it with your essential oil bottle of adaptive right there and keep that available for yourself. So this is um, a wonderful system. Soothing the emotions. Here's some other oils we can talk about for soothing the emotions. So we have adaptive, we have cardamom, we have neroli, we have palmarosa, patchouli, tangerine, again, citrus oils in general. Jasmine is amazing. Rose, sandalwood, Siberian fir, and our other wood oils, such as cypress, which is really inexpensive, spikenard, which is very, very calming. We have melissa, which is very, very calming and soothing. But if you're looking for some budget oils to use, our cypress is a wood oil that is great choice, and then we have lemongrass, which is one of our less expensive oils too, and is really great to utilize in a variety of different ways. So that is really uplifting. It's not a citrus oil, but it does have a very lemony aroma, and it's just adds very positive. It adds to the environment in a very positive way. So these are all really great options. So adaptive, like I mentioned, it's available in capsules, the oil, and the roller bottle. And then here we have, um, if you'd like to take a screenshot, this is a body butter here with the adaptive in it. And then this is three diffuser blends that you can make with the adaptive. So we have Fireside Peace. If I find my glasses on the floor. Winter Calm and Holiday Harmony. So, using adaptive Siberian Fir and Wild Orange for the Winter Calm, an amazing combination. Fireside Peace would be adaptive cinnamon bark and frankincense. And then Holiday Harmony would be adaptive Douglas fir, grapefruit, and clove. Um, you want something else that would be very, and again, these are designed for large areas. So if you have, a large first floor area, that would be great. If you're going to diffuse this in a bedroom or a smaller room, smaller space, go ahead and cut these in half. Another option would be uh, 3 drops of your adaptive and 2 drops of your On Guard. And everybody has On Guard in their basic kit. Motivate. Well, I am not going to talk a lot about Motivate because I have somebody here who you all know, or at least most of you, who just absolutely has a ton of stories about Motivate. Janice, would you like to say a few words about Motivate?
Sorry. Yes, that's one of my favorite. I love the scent of it. It just smells so good. But I use it at work like all the time. But I'm just need to be motivated to stay on. I work like 8 to 10 hour shifts, so I definitely have to stay motivated. So I love it. And whenever I try to get anything done, I put the motivate in my diffuser. I put it on. It's just great. And I just love that. I also love the Mitamax, which is, nothing to do with Motivate, but I take Mitamax sometimes for work too. So a double whammy and I'm really on go because I usually have a lot of energy, but sometimes I just feel tired or just to keep that, especially up until like 4 o'clock. And then I need that extra boost until I go home. So it's been great, but it smells amazing. I love it.
Yeah, the Mitamax, I used that when I was out in Utah and I had to take some exams out there for my herbalist certification years ago. And what would it be, about 10 years ago now? And so there was no coffee available. And I love coffee, but there was no coffee available. And we were up very early taking our classes, taking our exams, and I really wanted coffee in the afternoon. So I would take my Mitamax, and that was absolutely amazing. So thanks for bringing that up. That is a wonderful tool to have on hand.
Because too many of these young people drink those Red Bulls and those drinks that are really not good for you. So I try to encourage them not to take that and to try something like this because it's natural and it works. It's great.
Good point. Yeah, those Red Bulls and other I can't think of them right now, but those other Red Bull type products, um, they can have a heavy price tag. So people need to be very careful and realize that there's ingredients in there that they need to be very responsible with. So cheer. Cheer is amazing. It has wild orange, clove, nutmeg, vanilla, ginger, and cinnamon, and very uplifting. Now, this would be even great as far as supporting the immune system, helping to kill the germs in the air. You have your ginger, you have your cinnamon, you have your clove, your wild orange, could be used in that way too. So people are coming over and they have runny noses or something, you could use the cheer. Passion. Passion has cardamom, cinnamon, clove, jasmine, sandalwood, and vanilla. And it already has a carrier oil in there, but you probably want to add more of a carrier oil to it if you're using it topically. And this is a beautiful combination. And it can be used, you think passion, well, of course, you think like Valentine's and things like that, and passion between a couple. But passion can also be used if you need to inspire passion about your work that you need to get done, like creativity. You're like, I need to come up with ideas for this upcoming event, and I'm feeling just tapped out. So diffuse the passion or put a drop of passion in your hands and breathe it in and enjoy that. And that may help to get your imagination going and to support you in that way. Forgive, I mentioned before, with bergamot, juniper berry, myrrh, arborvitae, and thyme. And this helps to dispel negative feelings, angry feelings, feelings of guilt. A great gift for someone who is um, going through a time such as divorce or letting go. Maybe they had a difficult time leaving a job. They didn't expect to leave, and they're feeling um, a lot of difficult feelings about that ending. So forgive would be really, really good. Maybe they're having trouble in a relationship um, with a friend, a sibling, a parent, a child. Forgive would be really great and could be diffused when those people come over if that's something that they want to pursue. Console. I have given this many times, and I'm think I remember Janice saying she has too. This is wonderful to give a console roller bottle to people who have had a loss. And again, this could be a loss of a loved one or a pet, or it could be a loss of a job, or maybe they had to move, but they really didn't want to. But they thought it was the most logical decision in their life. Something to do with loss. A console roller bottle for them to apply to their wrists, to like under their ears, the back of their neck. Um, Very, very comforting. Peace. Peace is when for people are feeling very unsettled and to help them with to help soothe their anxious feelings. Ylang ylang, lavender, vetiver, marjoram, clary sage, and spearmint. So keep in mind clary sage is in there. So it also can help with some hormonal imbalance on some level. So it's not just a hormone blend, but it could have benefit in that way. So tension and tension headaches, and I've heard people mention that a lot lately. So we have past tense. Past tense is known as the tension blend, and that is absolutely fabulous. If you're going to put this on the head, make sure you put it back away from the eyes, more toward the temples. Don't put it close to the eyes in any way. It's very strong. Back of the neck is a fabulous place to put that, or the peppermint, or the deep blue. It's great to put it back on the back of the neck and the shoulders is wonderful. Um, peppermint and frankincense together. If you don't have the past tense, that is a wonderful, wonderful option. To one drop of each in the hand, put it on the back of the neck, then put what's left up near the temples. Um, the copaiba can be used in place of the frankincense. So if you don't have the frankincense, but you do have the copaiba, the peppermint and the copaiba together is great. Deep blue, of course, is going to help to relax those muscles. So putting that on the back of the neck is really wonderful. Putting it on the back, lower back, anywhere you're feeling some type of tension like that Basil, basil's another wonderful one. You could use your basil together with your copaiba and your clary-calm. So sometimes it's a hormonal um, headache. And so clary-calm would be indicated in that way. A headache can also be from digestive disruption or constipation, in which case you would reach for the digestive blend, okay, and put that on the belly and the back of the neck, all right? Because there is peppermint in there, so it will be good on the back of the neck, but yeah, I definitely want to get it on the belly and hopefully get things moving along. If it is constipation that's causing your headache, look at getting the castor oil, and you can put a couple drops in your belly button, or you can use a castor oil pack, which will help to encourage things to get moving. Blood pressure. So it's important to have a balanced or a healthy blood pressure. Some supports you can use would be the Serenity oil. Serenity, most people use that at night when they're sleeping, but it depends. If you're really stressed, like my one son, he's a massage therapist, and if he's running into work and he's in a hurry and he just drank a 20-ounce Wawa coffee, he might use Serenity because he wants to chill out before he walks into the massage therapy room. He doesn't want to walk in there like a overwhelmingly and say, "Hey, how we doing today? Jump up on that table," you know. So he wants to be calm and soothing with his response to people. So serenity can be very beneficial. Ylang ylang. Marjoram over the heart. Okay. Ylang ylang over the heart. Serenity also. Just plain lavender is really good. I know someone who, when they were pregnant, they were struggling with their blood pressure that normally was not a problem, but their blood pressure was a problem when they were pregnant. The first thing is she was having uncomfortable feelings about the medical assistant that was taking her blood pressure, and the young lady just she wasn't comfortable with her. And so I said, well, if you're not comfortable with the person taking your blood pressure, then ask for somebody else. And you don't have to say like, oh, they are terrible or anything. You can just say, oh, who am I going to be having for taking my blood pressure and my vitals today? And if they say it's the same person that makes you uncomfortable, say, could I have somebody else today? And you could ask the same question next time. Just asking who, and oh, well, could I have somebody else today? And I want to see if you don't even have to get into that. You want to see if there's a difference in your BP, but you could say that if you feel the need. Okay, so roller bottle blend. Now, this would be in a 10 ml roller bottle, and you would put in your essential oils first. So you would put in into your roller bottle, you would put in your 10 drops of ylang ylang, your 5 drops of marjoram, your 5 drops of cypress, and top that off with fractionated coconut oil. Okay, you can put this over your heart and on your reflex points to help in that way, to help be calming. Sleep. Definitely need to talk about sleep. Maintain a healthy diet. This does affect our sleep. Create a good sleeping environment. If you hate your pillow, throw it away and get another one. If you don't like your mattress, it would be great to throw it away and get another one, but we can't always do that. Mattresses can be very expensive, but you can get a mattress topper, and that can make a really big difference. So try to make your sleeping environment very dark. When you get up during the night, try to have um, a little light in the hallway that's very dim. When you turn on those bright lights in the bathroom, that same light that you want to be nice and bright to put your makeup on with, that is not beneficial for you to get up and during the night and use the bathroom if you need to. That's going to wake you up and tell your eyes are going to see that light and tell your brain, whoa, time to wake up. And then you have trouble getting back to sleep. So soften that light bulb or turn a few light bulbs, unscrew a few light bulbs in the bathroom, whatever you got to do. Have a little light somewhere, maybe a little night light in the bathroom, a light night light in the hallway, just enough light, that you can safely go where you need to go without turning on all those bright lights. Avoid stimulants. Um, I don't drink coffee. I usually don't drink coffee after like 8 o'clock at night. For some people, my daughter's like after 4 o'clock, then it'll keep her up. Other people are like, after lunch, I could have one after lunch, can't have another one, or I'm going to be up at night. So find out what that number is for you. If you're having caffeinated beverages after breakfast, but you're having trouble sleeping at night, then cut back until the only one you're having is the one in the morning or none at all. But that's really hard to do. But cut back because some people are so sensitive and they don't even know it. They don't know why they're not sleeping well, and it's actually that 2 p.m. cup of coffee. So, exercise regularly. Our body expects to expend that energy. It builds up and we're supposed to release it. And so many people, especially so many older people who they're sitting most of the day, they go to sleep at night and they can't sleep. And they can't sleep because their body didn't get movement during the day. They didn't use those muscles. They didn't get rid of that energy. And so that energy is all still there. Now, their brain might be tired because they were reading or something, but they need to move. So if you feel like you can't do a lot of movement, you can do chair exercises, take walks, things like that. But don't do nothing. Whatever you do, don't do nothing. Remove distractions when you're trying to go to sleep at night. Turn off all the lights. Make sure your curtains are very dark. Today we are in a very well lit society, so if there's street lights outside and whatnot, that little bit of light coming in could have your body thinking, "Oh, time to wake up." So get rid of all the light, relax your body. Now, I used to do something when I worked with teenagers. I'd have them all lay in the living room and I would say, okay, everybody, tense up all your muscles and relax. Tense up your shoulders and relax. Tense up your arms and relax. Tense up your gut and relax. And I would work the way down to the toes. And by the time they were done, they were usually drifting off, and I'd have sleeping teenagers all over the room. So you can do that. You also can do breathing exercises. In for 4, out for 8. Do that a number of times, and that can be very calming. Of course, make sure that you have your diffuser going with your lavender, your serenity, or whatever calming diffuser blend you decided to put on is very beneficial. Taking your Serenity soft gels, 1 or 2 of them at night. Even if you're not having a lot of trouble sleeping, they have done studies and found that we have a more productive sleep and get more deeply into those sleep cycles, feeling more rested in the morning when we use the Serenity and the Serenity soft gels. There's also a Serenity stick, which I didn't have a picture of there, but the Serenity stick has valerian, which is a wonderfully calming herb in it and is very beneficial for calming and for sleep. And you can put that on the back of your neck, on your spine. Some people put it on the bottom of their feet. So that is another wonderful option, a very inexpensive option. So while you're asleep, the brain processes information and stimuli that you've come in contact with during the course of the day. It sorts the information, it gets rid of waste, and it undergoes these processes that are essential for long-term memory. So your body needs to download and release for the cognitive health that will take you into your senior years. So it's very important that we go to bed at a reasonable hour so our body can release and repair. While you're asleep, the body cells rejuvenate. And rest helps us to recuperate through relaxation of muscles and the slowing of breathing. This is also essential for regulating hormones, for growth as well as for aging. Okay, so 3.9% reported unintentionally falling asleep during the day at least once a month. So people are falling asleep during the course of the day, like they're dozing off sitting in their office chair or wherever, because they're not getting proper sleep at night. Insomnia is very, very common in our society, reported by about 30% of adults. 37% of 20 to 39-year-olds have short sleep duration. They're not sleeping enough. About 40% of the 40 to 59-year-olds are not getting enough sleep. And about 35% of adults report 7 hours or less of sleeping during a typical 24-hour day. The effects of body sleep deprivation, depression. So think about that. How many people have you heard, or maybe yourself, deal with depression? So sleep deprivation can be a part of that. And that's very cyclical because not getting enough sleep can push somebody toward depression, and depression can cause somebody to have trouble sleeping. But think about that. When people are depressed, they don't want to go outside, they don't want to go in the sunlight, and they tend not to get enough exercise. A lot of times they're not going to eat healthy because they feel depressed. And when they don't eat healthy, they're more likely to get depressed. And can you see how that spiral can occur? So, more effects of sleep deprivation, impaired brain activity. So it can decrease cognitive function and memory, greater risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes. Um, Weight gain, I talked about that earlier. I had trouble losing a belly when I wasn't getting enough sleep. High blood pressure can be a result of not getting enough sleep. Of course, people have said this for decades. Oh, yes, I know. I didn't get enough sleep all weekend. No surprise, I ended up catching a cold. You've heard many people say that. You've probably said it yourself at some point in time. And accidental death. When people don't get enough sleep, well, I know a man who wasn't getting enough sleep, and he was working on home repair, and he cut off two of his fingers. So, but car accidents are more likely to occur when people are sleep deprived. So, very, very important to get enough sleep for a variety of reasons. Sleep needs. Well, infants 12 to 17 hours, children 10 to 14 hours, children 6 to 12 years of age, 9 to 12 hours, teenagers 8 to 10. How many teenagers are getting more like 7 or 6 because they have to be in school at 7:30 in the morning, and they're uh, they feel like they're too old to go to bed at 9:30 at night. They feel like, well, that's for the little children. They don't have to do that anymore, and really they need that sleep. So, an adult should be getting 8 to 9 hours sleep. A lot of things will say 7 to 9. We really should be getting 8 to 9 hours sleep. So sorry. Okay. Embrace a natural sleep cycle. Get to bed on time. Have your sleep space be conducive to sleep. If you have a router for your Wi-Fi near your bed or your bedroom, that should be at the opposite end of the house, and even consider just shutting it off at night, okay? Because those cellular vibes that it puts out are very unhealthy for sleep, and they're very unhealthy overall. So consider turning it off at night. And use oils to help to soothe the emotions, to help for sleep, and to help to energize you during the day. So we just went over a lot of these. Yes, a cool bedroom, they say, helps people to sleep. But I think that that really has to do with the person. The cool bedroom might be very good for you. For me, I like a warm room. So avoid the stimulants. When you go outside in the morning, that helps to set the circadian rhythm. And when you go out in the morning and that sunlight hits your face, your brain thinks, oh, okay. All right, it's morning. I should be going to bed in 16 hours. When you don't go and get that sunlight on your face until 11 o'clock in the morning, the brain thinks, oh, okay, I should be going to bed in 16 hours. And it's like, well, no, you should be going to bed about 10 o'clock at night, but you just threw off your schedule by not going and getting that sunlight on your face early enough in the day. Turn off all electronics and TVs, all those electronic little red lights and little lights, blue lights. The blue lights really is the problem. Having your phone lighting up next to you, having your tablet lighting up next to you are all negative towards sleep. And avoid heavy meals in the evenings. So if you have to have a little something at night, have it be very light and stay away from the sugars. Um, if your sugar dips during the night because it's been on a roller coaster all day, then you could wake up because you had a sugar crash in the middle of the night. So, if you're going to eat something before you go to sleep, maybe just like a handful of nuts, just enough that you're not going to be um, going to bed hungry, but just a little bit. You really don't want to be packing in a lot. So here's a Serenity soft gels. Sorry about that. This should be up further. So this can be used in conjunction with using the Serenity stick or the Serenity roller bottle, and of course the Serenity in the diffuser. So other oils for sleep would be Roman chamomile, which helps to calm and relax. Vetiver, very grounding and excellent, excellent for soothing the emotions and helping with sleep. Um, Spikenard is another one that helps to calm and soothe the emotions. Very calming. I love spikenard. Um, Serenity, of course, and lavender. Lavender is calming and soothing across the board, and balance. So if you had nothing with you, even though I use balance in the morning, if you had nothing with you and that was the only oil you had and you were having trouble getting to sleep, balance will not help to wake you up. It'll help you to be grounded and can be very calming. So you could use that at night if you needed to. Diffuser recipes. Here's a bunch of them. So we have our Sleepy Snuggles with juniper berry, vetiver, bergamot. We have Relax, Rest, and Rejuvenate with lavender, lime, and peppermint. And we have our Sweet Dreams with cedarwood, wild orange, ylang ylang, lavender. Sleepy Time with marjoram and thyme. Bedtime Stories with fennel, lemon, wild orange, and cedarwood. Sweet Slumber with bergamot, cedarwood, and marjoram. And I can't see these last ones, but you can take a picture of that page. Oh, darn, sorry. You can take a picture of that page because it's cut off on my vision because I can see your names there. So the dysfunctions that can be caused by sleep deprivation. And when you're sleeping at night, putting breathe in the diffuser is very beneficial. Especially if you have a snore in the house, using breathe can be very beneficial to help to keep the airways open, maintain feelings of clarity in the respiratory system. So apply